Week 11 of the 2025 NFL season. Here are my picks against the spread, beginning with Thursday night with the Jets and the Patriots. The Patriots are favored by nearly 2 touchdowns. I don't think the Jets can win this game outright, but I do think they'll cover. Whoops, that's not correct. I do think they'll cover the 2 touchdowns. I think that this is a game that's the Patriots have a 17-point lead with like a minute to go, and the Jets score a touchdown late and cover the 2 touchdowns. So give me the Jets to cover 13.5. In Spain, the Dolphins are 2.5 point favorites against the Commanders. I don't think highly of either of these teams, but I think the Dolphins have a little juice left in them after beating the Bills last week. So I think they beat the Commanders. I think the Commanders are pretty much a dead team walking at this point. I like the Dolphins to win this game. The Bills are 5.5 point favorites against the Bucks. I do not understand this spread at all. The Bills just got their doors blown off by a terrible Dolphins team. I don't think they should be 5.5 point favorites against a good Bucks team. I think the Bucks cover. Cincinnati at Pittsburgh. The Steelers are 5.5 point home favorites. The Bengals have won one game since Joe Burrow got injured, and it was against the Steelers at home. The Bengals are coming off a bye week. I don't think the Steelers are particularly good. I think their defense can be had. And although I don't think the Bengals win this game, I think this is a field goal game, so I'll say the Bengals cover the 5.5. The Chargers are field goal favorites in Jacksonville. This feels like a game the Jaguars have to have. I think that the Jaguars, since they're getting a full field goal at home, I think that they're the right side. They'll cover the 3. Bears at Vikings. The Vikings are favored by a field goal at home. The Vikings just lost at home to the Ravens the week before that. They beat Detroit. Kevin O'Connell's Vikings, I think, are like 6-1 against the Bears. They're only favored by a field goal. I think the Vikings win this game. I'll say the Vikings. The Packers are touchdown favorites on the road against the Giants. The Giants just fired Brian Daboll, so the Giants have that 1 week new coach bump. I don't think the Giants win this game outright, but I do think they cover 7 against the Packers. Panthers at Falcons. The Falcons are 3.5 point home favorites. The last time these two teams played, the Panthers won 30-0. And although the Panthers just lost at home against the Saints, the Falcons haven't won a game in almost a month. I think these teams are pretty evenly matched, and because the Falcons are 3.5 point, or excuse me, because the Panthers are 3.5 point road underdogs, I think that they're the correct side. I think they cover. The Texans are 7 point favorites on the road against the Titans. That's a big spread for a divisional game, a big spread for the road team to be favored by. But Tennessee is just downright awful. I think the Texans will beat the Titans fairly easily. Seattle at the Rams, probably the best game of this weekend. The Rams are 2.5 point home favorites. I think Seattle's really good, but I think the Rams are the side here. I think they win at home. Sean McVay's Rams have had the Seahawks number. The Rams defense gave Sam Darnold a lot of problems last year, if you remember when Sam Darnold was with the Vikings. So I think the Rams win this game. The 49ers are field goal favorites, or excuse me, 2.5 point favorites in Arizona. I think the 49ers win this game. I think it's a game they have to win to stay in the NFC playoff picture. I don't think this is a blowout, but since the 49ers are laying less than a field goal, I think that they're the right side. Chiefs at Broncos. The Chiefs, even though they have 3 fewer wins than the Broncos, are 3.5 point favorites on the road, and I think this is understandable because the Broncos, even though they have a great record, they have not looked that impressive this year. They won by 3 points at home against the Raiders. They won another game against the Jets by 2 points in London. They were down 19-0 to the terrible Giants and won by 1 point. With that said, I think this is a field goal game, so I think the Broncos cover 3.5. The Kansas City Chiefs have not been good on the road this year. They're 1-3. I don't know if Josh Simmons is going to be back in this game, but The Broncos defense is really good, and I think it can give the Chiefs some problems. And the Broncos are better at home. So I don't know if the Broncos are going to win this game outright, but I do think they cover 3.5. Baltimore Ravens are favored by 7.5 on the road against the Browns. I don't think the Browns can win this game outright, but I think they cover 7.5. I think that's too many points for a divisional game. Too many points for the Ravens to be favored by on the road. The Browns defense at home is really good and has given Lamar Jackson problems. I think this is low scoring. The Ravens win, but it's by a touchdown or less. Philadelphia Eagles are 2.5 point home favorites against the Detroit Lions. Jalen Hurts is undefeated against the Lions in his career. I think the Eagles win this game. And lastly, Dallas Cowboys are 3.5 point favorites in Las Vegas. The Cowboys are coming off a bye. The Raiders are absolutely terrible. This feels like a game that the Cowboys have to win to. This feels like if the Cowboys lose this game, their season's over. I think that they beat the Raiders fairly handily. I'll say the Cowboys cover 3.5 on the road. And there are my picks against the spread for Week 11. See you next time.